Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I really wanted to talk about the stat cards and how they are misleading, how people don't even understand a lot of what they're seeing. Mostly I want to just talk about the rate of climb, because that's the most popular stat that is misrepresented by much of the community. So I'll use the P47 as an example here. When you are looking at the P47 stats, a lot of people say, well, this has got a really crappy climb rate, because look at that stat. It says it's only going to climb at 10.6 meters per second. But what a lot of people don't understand is that the stat card is based on the altitude for which you are gaining the max speed, the turn time, and the rate of climb. It is not a true indication of your best climb rate for that plane at all. It just means that at 9,144 meters, the best attainable climb rate, other than being in a zoom climb of some type, a power climb, we'll say, is going to be 10.6 meters per second. So, a lot of people think that, well, I'm only going to get 10.6 meters per second out of this. Well, that's not true, and I can prove it. So, let's go to a test flight. We're going to go to our normal test flight, and I'm going to show the local host for the plane so that you can actually see the VY, which is your climb rate, and you'll be able to see the true air speed as well as the indicated airspeed, among other things. Now I'm going to go in a normal climb at sea level. I'm not going to even move the mouse right now, and I'm just going to let it get up to speed. And we're going to surpass that 10.9 meters was the number that they had on there in short order. We're already past the 10.9 meters. And we're in no way in any kind of zoom climb. We're just taking off, gaining speed, gaining altitude. So the numbers are a little deceptive when you look at the plane stat cards. And you should realize that when you are looking at these numbers, that you are looking at the performance of the plane at that height and altitude. Nothing else, nothing more. Even the turn rate is based on that altitude. So if you see a very high turn rate and a very high altitude, with a very high altitude number, that's pretty normal. I mean, everybody knows that the air is thinner and the turn radiuses are a lot longer, or a lot larger, and higher altitudes. So we're going a total of 348 kilometers per second right now, and we have sustained at least a 15 meters a second plus climb rate. So when you see on the stat card that this plane sucks because the plane doesn't have the right altitude performance, or it doesn't climb very well, well, check out that height, check out the altitude, because planes that can climb at 9,000 meters, 10 meters a second, are actually pretty good. So if you can sustain a climb with that plane at 9,000 meters, you're doing pretty good. So this plane is a little deceptive. Other planes are deceptive as well. Let's take, let's say the let's go Russian. We'll go Russian and say, what else do we have here that we can use? That's a low performance or low altitude plane. Would help if I had these checked. Okay, the Yak 9. Rate of climb, 15 meters a second. I'm willing to bet it's actually pretty high compared to that number. And I think it starts to drop off at around 3,900. So once you start getting above 3,900, it's a good indication that this is going to start dropping. Typically, when you see a low number here, you're going to see a pretty quick drop off the higher you get in altitude. Planes like the P-47 will actually sometimes get stronger as they get into altitude. That's because they have a turbocharger, though. So don't let the stat cards fool you on a lot of things. Take the information that they give you to give you a good guideline about where a plane is going to perform well. So you know the Yak's going to perform well around 4,000 meters. That's the best altitude for it to perform. You're going to get your best true air speed out of that, and you're going to get your best climb. Well, I shouldn't even say that. You're going to get a pretty decent climb. This is going to be the indication of what the climb will be at that rate. You're going to get your best performance for your airplane out of that at that level generally. So take that information back and use that to your advantage. Most people kind of already know what planes do well at certain altitudes, but at least you'll have true information at your fingertips. All right, Nightcaster, signing off.